is working hard to keep the content up to date. If you find this video helpful, please let us know in the comment. We really appreciate if you like and subscribe to our channel. If you are looking for any particular certification which is currently not available on our channel, please mention that in the comment. Our team will prioritize those. Thank you. Next question is: a company's web application will be migrated to AWS. The application is designed so that there is no server-side code required. As part of the migration, the company would like to improve the security of the application by adding HTTP response headers, following the Open Web Application Security Project (OWASP) Secure Headers recommendations. How can this solution be implemented to meet the security requirements using best practices? A. Use an Amazon S3 bucket configured for website hosting, then set up server access logging on the S3 bucket to track user activity. Then configure the static website hosting and execute a scheduled AWS Lambda function to verify, and if missing, add security headers to the metadata. B. Use an Amazon S3 bucket configured for website hosting, then set up server access logging on the S3 bucket to track user activity. Configure the static website hosting to return the required security headers. C. Use an Amazon S3 bucket configured for website hosting. Create an Amazon CloudFront distribution that refers to this S3 bucket, with the origin response event set to trigger a Lambda at edge node.js function to add in the security headers. D. Use an Amazon S3 bucket configured for website hosting. Create an Amazon CloudFront distribution that refers to this S3 bucket. Set cache based on selected request headers to whitelist, and add the security headers into the whitelist. Correct answer is C. Next question is: a defect was discovered in production and a new sprint item has been created for deploying a hotfix. However, any code change must go through the following steps before going into production. Scan the code for security breaches, such as password and access key leaks. Run the code through extensive, long-running unit tests. Which source control strategy should a DevOps engineer use in combination with AWS code pipeline to complete this process? A. Create a hotfix tag on the last commit of the master branch. Trigger the development pipeline from the hotfix tag. Use AWS code deploy with Amazon ECS to do a content scan and run unit tests. Add a manual approval stage that merges the hotfix tag into the master branch. B. Create a hotfix branch from the master branch. Trigger the development pipeline from the hotfix branch. Use AWS code build to do a content scan and run unit tests. Add a manual approval stage that merges the hotfix branch into the master branch. C. Create a hotfix branch from the master branch. Trigger the development pipeline from the hotfix branch. Use AWS Lambda to do a content scan and run unit tests. Add a manual approval stage that merges the hotfix branch into the master branch. D. Create a hotfix branch from the master branch. Create a separate source stage for the hotfix branch in the production pipeline. Trigger the pipeline from the hotfix branch. Use AWS Lambda to do a content scan and use AWS code build to run unit tests. Add a manual approval stage that merges the hotfix branch into the master branch. Correct answer is D. Next question is: the management team at a company with a large on-premises OpenStack environment wants to move non-production workloads to AWS. An AWS Direct Connect connection has been provisioned and configured to connect the environments. Due to contractual obligations, the production workloads must remain on-premises, and will be moved to AWS after the next contract negotiation. The company follows Center for Internet Security (CIS) standards for hardening images. This configuration was developed using the company's configuration management system. Which solution will automatically create an identical image in the AWS environment without significant overhead? A. Write an AWS CloudFormation template that will create an Amazon EC2 instance. Use Cloud Unit to install the configuration management agent. Use CFN wait for configuration management to successfully apply, and use an AWS Lambda-backed custom resource to create the AMI. B. Log into the console, launch an Amazon EC2 instance, and install the configuration management agent. When changes are applied through the configuration management system, log into the console and create a new AMI from the instance. C. Create a new AWS OpsWorks layer and mirror the image hardening standards. Use this layer as the baseline for all AWS workloads. D. When a change is made in the configuration management system, a job in Jenkins is triggered to use the VM import command to create an Amazon EC2 instance in the Amazon VPC. Use lifecycle hooks to launch an AWS Lambda function to create the AMI. Correct answer is D.